Hello everyone, it's Jamming Jack 99 and welcome back to the channel. Today we are starting a brand new franchise zoo with only deluxe edition animals. So I only have 3 animals to work with. I think it's going to be pretty fun and they're all pretty cool animals. So for today's episode we're going to build like a pretty simple entrance arch, nothing too special, and then start working on the Thompson's gazelle habitat. I don't know if we'll finish it, but we're gonna start it. So right away we're just gonna jump into the time lapse of me trying to make some type of entrance arch. Let's get going. Alright, so it's time for the first time lapse of this video, starting off with a simple curved paths just to add something a little bit more interesting than a straight path, and then making a very simple archway. Did not want to do anything too complicated because I just wanted to jump into the animals. I didn't really have any ideas, so I just freehanded this arch. No planning went into this at all, just putting stuff down until it looked good. So this arch, contrary to what the video makes it seem, this actually took a long time because this time lapse is at 1000% speed and it took me a while to place all of these boards. So I made some of them crooked, trying to make it look like they were just kind of put on there, and then copied that to the other side because doing that twice would take forever. And then throwing down my very creative zoo name. It's called the Deluxe Zoo because it's the deluxe edition pack. I know, I'm very creative. So then I wanted to put a sign on there, and none of these signs just really worked for the size of the sign and what animals we could use, because there's not animal signs for the deluxe edition pack, which is unfortunate. So I could not find a sign. I messed around with these hippos a lot, trying to like be the pygmy hippos, but they just did not work. So I tried some plant signs too. Eventually I just gave up and decided to just detail it with some vines, which I think turned out really cool looking. And then I put some extra vines onto the support beams, which you can't really see them all too well, but I think it adds a lot. So then just some basic plant work, trying out some different things. And I'm going to come back to this later and do more. I just wanted to put down some basics here just to get myself a start on it and just kind of see how everything looks. And I think it turned out pretty good. Okay, so I think that's going to be it for the basics of the entrance. Of course, this area is going to get decorated more later down the line. I just did a little bit right now. I probably just changed some of this to some sand for now. Yeah, all this is going to get decorated later down the line, and I just wanted to make something simple. This took way longer than I thought it would. I'll probably come back to it and do more. I want to get to work on starting the actual Thompson's gazelles now. Got a lot I want to do, so yeah, that took a long time, so I don't know if I'm going to finish it, but we'll at least get a nice start on the Thompson's gazelle habitat in this episode. So without further ado, let's just get going. Alright, so for this one, I'm basically outlining the habitat and the viewing areas that I want. So dipping it down a little bit, because dipping it down always makes it look better. Want to do kind of a bigger area on this side over here, which I usually don't do. Usually I just have thin paths, so that's kind of new for me. Then I also wanted a raised viewing platform, which is like, when I imagined this habitat in my head before I built it, that was one of the main things I imagined it having. And I spent a long time trying to figure out how to do this raised viewing platform to make it not look terrible. And nothing I did really worked, but eventually I did get something. You'll see that in a second here. And I just basically made this small design. So that's it. Okay, so this is kind of the basic setup for everything. I was kind of struggling with the paths for a while on this. So the gazelles are mainly going to be here. Over here it's going to be the backstage. This is the raised viewing platform. It took me so long to figure out how I wanted this, and I think this is just going to have to be how it is. I think it's going to give you a nice higher view. And then yeah, I think maybe we'll do like a little bit of a river through this. Maybe not a river, more of a maybe pond. I'm not sure. We'll do something fun. And yeah, we'll do a lot of decorating around this path, but I think we really just need to get started on actually building some of the habitat. I think I want to like maybe get the basics of the backstage area done. I don't really know if I want to decorate it, but I want to get it in there just so we can have the habitat gate figured out. And this is just for reference. I'm probably just going to have it directly onto here. Well, I need a little bit of a staff area, so I don't know, we'll figure it out. But yeah, I think we're just gonna jump right into the starting the backstage area. And now it's time for the longest time lapse of this video, because I just do a bit more than basically just pathing. So I hope you guys are enjoying this video so far. If you are, leave a like. I'm kind of trying out something different than I do for most of my speed build videos. I'm adding a little bit more gameplay and just trying some new things until eventually something sticks. So this barn design I'm actually really happy with this. I've done something similar in one of my franchise zoos, and I basically just wanted to do that again but better. And it basically just gives like some separate stalls for the animals, one main stall that they can all be together, and then an area for the keepers to be able to work and see them. And then I actually like putting the habitat gates inside of backstage areas too. I think it looks pretty cool. So this roof is also something I'm pretty proud of with the overhangs. Unfortunately, like, I have to have a bunch of different groups for this one building because the roofs just don't like naturally have that overhang. So it'd be nice if there was like a feature where you could take items off the grid and still keep them in the same group, because that would be a little bit less annoying. But yeah, then I needed to fill in the rest of the roof with some boards, which took a while. And then I tried pathing the inside, and this all changes eventually. So putting on the wooden door, like I said, I like to put the habitat gates on the inside and building a nice little outline for that. I think this backstage area turned out really nice, and then the next episode we'll work more on kind of finishing everything up for the backstage area. Then the other doors I just did Arctic doors because they look the most like the wooden habitat gate, and as you know, you can't have more than one habitat gate, which is another kind of unfortunate feature, especially if you have a really big habitat. It'd be nice just to be able to put multiple habitat gates, but I think that like Keeper AI would probably get confused on which gate to go to if you tell it to bring an animal in, so that's probably why. So there, I just gave it a concrete floor, putting on more doors. So then I just put some mesh in between the stalls, so the animals in the stalls are separated from each other. And then after this, I outlined the entire habitat with some null barriers to mark it out. And then I forgot to like terrain the back of it, and I didn't want to do all rock work, so I deleted half of that and then went to the terraining. Then I tried to make the river I was talking about, which just did not work, because as you can see, it would either fill up the entire habitat or it would just go like way too deep down and just look really weird. So I ended up just not doing a river. It is an African savanna habitat, so it doesn't need a river. Then I started trying to do some rock work, which I wasn't happy with, so I deleted all of that. And with what rock work we do have by the end of the episode, I'm still not completely happy with it, so that'll probably get changed next episode. But the rock work for the guest side I'm a lot more happy with. I just made one simple design, then just copy and pasted that over and over again. And I think that actually turned out really good. You can't really tell that it's the same rock design. It looks different enough. So that turned out pretty good. So then I went on to some fencing. So I looked at a few different of the in-game fences, and I decided on this one, which is definitely my favorite fence in the game. I use it all the time. I did think about making a custom fence for this exhibit, but I decided not to because I like this one enough, and it would probably look better than anything that I would make for a custom fence. So this is the one that I went with. I also know this video took a long time to get out. That's just because I did not really know what to make. I had this idea for this for a long time, but actually going and starting it took me a while. I am very happy that I did it though, and I'm going to be trying to upload more consistently for a while now, so stick around if you want to see that. So now I'm getting to work on kind of putting like some supports for the raised viewing gallery, and I looked at using the same material as the barn, but I ended up using these Australia logs, which I think look pretty good. And that's basically it for this time lapse. Okay, so that's quite a bit done. We got the fencing in, we got the like beginnings of a backstage area, which we'll flesh out more later. Some nice rock work, this entire fence area. It's starting to come together. I do really want to get some animals in, so I think what we're gonna do is maybe do a bit more rock work along here. Do just a little bit more in the habitat. Get some animals in, and then we're gonna fully decorate with plants and everything in the next episode, and we'll go decorating into more of these areas. There's a lot of decorating next episode, I think. So yeah, let's just bit more rock work, I think, and then put down the basics and put in our gazelles, and then we'll finish the habitat in the next episode. So one more time lapse. Let's go. Alright, so like I just said, it is the last time lapse, and also like I said earlier, I'm not happy with this rock work. I think it's definitely better than having nothing, but there'll be parts that need to be fixed in the next episode. I think it just looks like too choppy and unnatural. Okay, so like I said, just some very basic rock work. I think we'll make this all soil back here. Very basic rock work. It needs, I don't know how much I like it right now. We'll definitely come back and we'll mess around with this later, but for now I just want to get the animals in, then we can fix this all later. Yeah, if you have any ideas for what to do with this kind of back end of the exhibit, let me know, because I'm not completely sure at the moment, but we will get back to that. I'm thinking I might want this fence to go up and go completely around here, or just around this section and dip into this rock instead of here. So I think that'll also be something for next episode though, because I just don't want to make this episode too long. I've been recording for over an hour already, so yeah, I want to get done soon, so let's just get the animals in. I forgot that we need a trade center. Alright, let's see what we got. We only have 4 on the market right now. We'll definitely get the male. I don't know how many are in a group. I should actually check that. Yeah, I think we'll just go with a male and 2 females. Let's get these 2 with the best genetics. There he is. Oh, look at this little guy. Oh, he is so happy. Actually, the welfare is surprisingly not that bad. Look at the little guy. Kind of an awkward position. Alright, our little girl actually. Yep, lots of space, everything's looking good. Definitely will need some plants. Enrichment. We're gonna get to enrichment and plants for now. What we will do, we'll get a food trough here. And we need water as well. Water right there. The food trough. Can we do a large? Yeah, we can. Right there. Alright, food and water right inside of their barn area. While we're at it, let's actually just put down some bedding in there, because why not? Yeah, they can't actually go in this area, because this is meant to be like little stalls for them. I don't know if they can get into this one either. But we're gonna put bedding in all of the stalls. And then some bedding throughout the actual barn. Just don't question my genius with this build. I'll flesh it out again in the next episode. All of this is going to be turned glorious in the next episode, but this episode is already way too long, so let's actually place down some donation bins. So hopefully we can get some donations going. And these are temporary. We're gonna move those. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode. What is this guy doing? Or this girl doing? I hope you enjoyed this episode. The next one, everything's going to start looking good. And we'll finish this habitat, hopefully. There'll probably be still a tiny bit more to do, but finish most of the habitat leads, and then we'll be able to start on the next animal, which will either be Komodo dragon or pygmy hippo. I haven't decided yet. Probably Komodo dragon, because that just seems easier in this environment. But we got the next one in. Let's go see. Oh, this is the guy. Look at those big horns. Alright. Oh, these guys are so cute. Alright. I'm gonna stop talking now, and without further ado, goodbye.